Hello students, today we are going to work on Excel Module 3, Project 1, 7 Summits Group, working with large worksheets, charting, and what-if analysis. So we'll go over to Start. Make sure you download your instructions and your Excel spreadsheet. I already have mine up and ready to go. You go ahead and make sure you have your spreadsheet so you can work on it. I will have the directions on my second screen. So let's get started. Go up and enable editing, File, Save As, this PC, and then wherever you save it, I save mine on the desktop. Make sure that you change this 1 to a 2. And then hit save. All right, so our directions. Project step number 1. Eugene Park is a senior consultant for the 7 Summits Group, a consulting firm in Denver, Colorado. He is working with Hardy Fit Tools, a manufacturer of hand tools, to improve their business operations. He has created a workbook projecting the company's orders and inventory, and asks for your help in completing and formatting the projections. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go down here next to where it says documentation, where it says orders. We're going to click that. We're going to right click, and then we're going to choose rename. So we need to rename the orders worksheet to use orders and inventory as the worksheet name. So right click, rename, and then we're going to type in orders and inventory. Inventory has a capital I, orders has a capital O, the A in and is lowercase. So click wherever and then it should stick. All right. Next, project step number 2, we will go up and unfreeze the top 2 rows of the worksheet. We can find unfreeze under the View tab where it says Freeze Panes. Click on that and then the very first one that says Unfreeze Panes. Then we are going to middle align the contents of the merged cell A1. So we will go back over to Home, and then it's the second one right here for middle align. So that is project step number 2. Project step number 3, we will cut the contents of cell K2, which it reads date. So Control X to cut, and then paste that information in cell A2. Control V. Now you see that date is no longer in K2, it is now in A2. Then in cell B2, we will insert a formula that uses the now function to display today's date. So we will go up to Formulas. Right here underneath where it says Formulas, where it has date and time, click on that and you will scroll down until you find the word Now. Click in Now, then OK, and then it will put in today's date. Project step number 4, we will merge and center the range A3 to A9. Go back to Home, where it says Merge and Center. Then we will rotate the text up to 90 degrees in the merged cell. So you see how this has here projected inventory? We need to have this flipped in the same direction. So we'll come up here where it has AB at an angle. Click on that, and we want to rotate the text up. Now we will change the width of column A to 5. So we would just click between the A and the B column where you'll get the double arrow. Click, and then you're going to drag to the left until you hit 5. Take your time, go slow. You might go over it, but that's all right. So right there. And then let go, and you should have something that looks like this. All right, project step number 5. We are going to copy the formatting from the range B5 to K5. Now this is what we did in Word. We're going to use our format painter. So we are going to highlight B5 to K5. We're going to click on our format painter. Now you see that we have selected this format that is in this range. We're going to apply it to range B7 to K7. So we are just going to click and just drag across like we're painting, and you'll see that your numbers will change. Now we will move on to project step number 6. In cell B8, you see how wrench sets is a little bit to the right? We need to decrease the indent by 1 level. So make sure you select that cell. You're going to come up right underneath alignment, underneath our AB where we just rotated, and we're going to click the decrease indent. Now we are going to copy the values in the range C26 and G26. So that's down here at the bottom. So we are going to highlight or drag across. We will copy. So hold down the control key and hold C. Now you see that we're copying. And we're going to paste only the values in the range C8 to G8. So we are only pasting the values. So that's right click. We're going to come down here where it has the 1, 2, 3 and it says values. We're going to choose that option. Now we're going to come down and we're going to delete row 26 because we no longer need that information. So you can right click, delete, and then that information disappears. Okay, we are now on project step number 7. We are going to use what's called the goal seek to set cell C11 to the value of 300 by changing cell C7. So we will find goal seek under data. We're going to go under the what if analysis. So what if analysis, then goal seek is where it is living. Choose goal seek. Now you see here where it says set cell. So we want to set our cell to C11 and then to the value of 300. And we're going to do that by changing cell C7. Once you have in that information, click OK, and then you will see a bunch of numbers start changing. So once you see here target value 300, current value 300, that is correct. You will click OK, and we will move on to project step number 8. In cell H4, we will insert a line, spark line, based on the data in the range C4 to G4. So let's go up and find where our line, spark line is living, which is under the insert. We're going to click on line, and then we're going to drag across C4 to G4, and that's going to automatically populate in our box for their data range. So now we want to click OK, and then you see that we have our line pop up there. So now we want to fill the range. So it says fill. So we are going to click our fill handle, and we're going to drag down, and we are going to fill ranges H4 to H9. Now don't click out. You'll see that there's a little box that pops up here to the right. We want to fill that without formatting. So we're going to click on this box, and you're going to choose the option Fill Without Formatting. Choose that, and then we can move on to the next step, which is to change the color of the spark lines in the range H4 to H9. So we're going to come up here to spark line color, and we are going to choose gold, accent 6, darker 25%. Once you choose that, click. And now we're going to add markers for each month. So to do that, we're going to come over. We're still under our spark line. Right here where it says markers, choose that. And we have now chosen our marker. Now that we have done that, now we need to change our marker color to green. So we're going to go back over to marker color. We're going to go under markers. And then we are going to choose green, accent 4, darker 50%. Once you have chosen all of that, you can click out, and your spark line should look like this. Okay, project step number 9. We will copy the formula in cell K4, so we're going to copy it, so Control C, and then we're going to paste the formula and number formatting in the range K5 to K8. So we can highlight, right-click, we will go under Paste Special because we want the formula and the number formatting. So we'll get this other pop-out right here, and we want to make sure that we are choosing formulas and number formatting. So it's the third one over, formulas and number formatting. Make that choice, and you should have something that looks like this. You can also hit Escape to get rid of those dancing dotted lines. Okay, on to project step number 10. We will work in cell C12, and we will insert a formula that divides the total orders for August, which is cell C9, by the total number of orders, which is cell I9. So we're going to start out with an equal sign, open parenthesis, we will choose C9, and then we will do our /, and then we will click on I9, and then we will close it off with our close parentheses. Now the second part of this is we need to use an absolute reference to cell I9, and then we're going to copy that. So an absolute reference, all you simply do is you will put in a $sign before the I, and then a $sign before the number 9. And that will give you an absolute. When you have that, hit enter, and you should have 15% that comes up. We're now going to copy that formula to the range D12 to G12. So Control C, and then right click, and we will paste. Hit Escape to get rid of those dancing lines, and you should have the following numbers. Okay, so if you do not have those numbers that pop up, please make sure that you go back and you double check to make sure that your formula has that $sign before the letter I and the $sign before the number 9. On to project step number 11. In cell H15, We will insert a column spark line based on the data in range C15 to G15. So we will go up to Insert. We're going to come over here. Instead of line, we will go to Column. So click on Column, and now we're going to highlight across C15 to G15. You'll have your data range, and then you will click OK. Now we will display the high point and the low point in the spark line. So to do that, we come right up here, high point, low point, and then we will fill the range H16 to H23, but we want it without formatting based on the spark line in cell H15. So we will drag down and fill. We're going to click on our box here that pops up, and we want to fill the range without formatting. So we're going to choose that option there, fill without formatting. Click anywhere on your spreadsheet, and this is what you should have. Okay, on to project step number 12. We will copy the formula in cell I15. So Control C, and then paste only the formula in the range I16 to I23. So we will highlight, right click, and then we will paste only the formula. So that will be the third one over under your paste options, formulas. Make that choice, click anywhere on your spreadsheet, and then you may hit escape to get rid of those dancing dotted lines. Project step number 13, and this is our last step. We will change the chart in the range J10-023, which is this here, our chart, to a pie chart. To do that, we will go up to Chart Design, and then right here where it says Change Chart Type, that is where we will make our selection here, this very first one, which is pie. There's our pie chart. Click OK, and then we are going to change the title. So you can highlight, and we will type in average orders per month. Average is a capital A, orders is a capital O, P in per is lowercase, and the M in month is capitalized. Once you have that, you can click outside of your sheet onto your worksheet. Now we're going to add data labels to the outside of each slice. So to do that, make sure that you have your chart selected. You'll see this plus sign pop up. Choose that where it has data legends. We're going to click our arrow, and then we will choose outside of each slice, so outside end. Click anywhere on your sheet, and you should have something that looks like this. Please click Save, and then we can go ahead and submit and see the score that we have received. All right, hit Submit, and then choose Graded Summary Report. Double click, and let's see how we did. And that, my friends, is a 100 out of 100. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I am here to help in any way that I can.